Well, while the Le Mans is out soaking up the sun, still have it, still enjoying it. Haven't shown much of it, but still here. We are going to plug away on the 46. Now that we got the cage in it and the wheels on it, I'm going to leave it on the ground for now because I want to get the motor and tranny put in it. I want to get some weight on the front end of this to know how close my steering linkage is going to come to the frame, to know if I have to start modifying anything again. So I've already got the turbo and the intake, like the turbos and the intake off. Lifting plate is on it, ready to lift it off the stand. We're going to get this thing put together. I got my torque converter. This is my 3600 stall lockup converter. I got my mid plate I got to put in there, and my Bilt 4L80 from ICT Billet. I got one of their PRW flex plates. It is SFI approved, and it comes with the bolts. This is quite a bit thicker than a factory flex plate. There is definitely more meat to it, but that's what we're using to put it all together. And then of course, from just a couple videos ago, you guys remember the 408 stroker that we're putting in it. But yeah, time to put it together. Well, after a little bit of finagling, I did get it in. You know, some bolts were a little tight. I actually had to retap this one. It just was a little too tight to try and go in. But it goes in good now. Well, first time I've seen it in the truck with the intake on. Obviously it doesn't go past the roof line, hood line, whatever. This valve cover comes a lot closer to the firewall than the factory valve covers did. But it's okay, there's still some room. But now we're starting to see what this thing's gonna look like. This is killer, I love it. I have about a little over 3.5 inches of ground clearance. Tranny pan is the lowest hanging thing, and I can flip a 2x4 on its side and slide underneath with about I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch gap above it. So, you know, 2x4 is actually 3.5 inches tall. So I got a little over 3.5 inches at this point, but I still have more weight to put in it. And I've answered my question as to whether or not my steering is going to hit. It hits. So yeah, this drag link right here, I can't even get my finger between it. There's about a 1/4 inch gap there. This one's a little bit better. That one, no bueno. So I will have to notch out and around. I'll do a little C-notch in the frame here. it's a 2x4 boxed, you know, boxed frame. I can afford to cut an inch into it and not really compromise the strength of it. The other thing I can do too, if I want to raise the front end up, is I can put just a spacer between the perch and the spring. You know, I can put like a piece of 1/2 inch plate in there that'll lift the front end 1/2 inch. But I kind of like the height it's at right now. So I'm going to start with the notch, and if the notch isn't enough, then I'll have to put a spacer in there just to bring it up a bit. But the motor definitely sits low in it, which is nice. I mean, I don't know if this truck will ever wheelie, but the lower it is, the less likely it is to happen. So, and my daughter is just going to town on the new rims with the wrench. Let's just leave that there. She loves being out here messing up all my tools, running away with sockets. So yeah, I will have to clock these differently, but I think that's where I'm gonna have these sit, because I can bring the exhaust straight out, come down right behind the header, and then down under the cab. I want to run pipes down underneath the side of the cab. So I think this is a good spot to just bring them down. If I clock this out much further, it risks hitting the tire when I turn my wheel. It might catch the cold side. So we'll keep them kind of up. But now, you know, I know what I gotta do to the frame, but now I can also hang the front end on here, which I've had a hard time doing when I was doing the mock-up stage. You know, where the turbos sit and stuff like that, my ride height, how low I can have the grill. I didn't know any of those things yet, so now I do. So that'll be the next order of business on this truck, is trying to hang the front end, and we'll see if we can run a hood with it. I don't know where front to back the grill's gonna sit. If I put the hood on it and it makes the grill sit too far back, it might just not look right, so we might have to abandon the hood. But I think it could be cool with the hood. Won't know until we see it. But the drivetrain is in. I can measure my drive shaft now. Alternator, I don't think is going to work here, unless I can find a bracket that hangs it closer to the head, like up here, which would not be bad. Like, this is a lot of free real estate right here. I have seen a bracket that comes over here, but it does keep it up high a little bit. I'm gonna do some more looking. ICT Billet has a lot of mounting brackets for front drive accessories. So I just got to go through their website and see what I can find. Just another progress report, update, whatever you want to call it. And definitely making a lot of headway now. It is definitely looking like a race truck. But that's it for now. See you on the next one.